What's going on, guys? So we're going to be looking at Instagram. Okay, I know a lot of you guys know Instagram, right? A lot of us use it. We use like TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram. Instagram 9 times out of 10 is like on the top list of some of the best social media apps out there, right? Am I right? Yeah? Come on, you gotta admit, you've probably used Instagram in the past, okay? So with this, we're gonna be looking at some of the use cases within Instagram. We're gonna analyze some of the experience, the flows, the UI, and just overall get a gist and feel of some of the interactions and experience across the board of Instagram, okay? This is coming from a senior product designer, myself, Sharif York. I have experience in UI, UX, product design, interaction design, as well as animation, motion graphics, however you want to put it. My previous experience was working at AT&T, and now I work for a company called LTK. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to be looking at, on the left side is the Android version, which is the Google Pixel, and then on the right side is iOS. Okay, so iPhone, we're using the iPhone 13, the newest one as of September 2021. Okay, so this is the brand newest iPhone, iOS 13. Okay, sorry, not iOS 13, iPhone 13. All right, so with that said, let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, so what's cool to see is that on the left side is Android and on the right side is iOS. They're very similar. They pretty much look the exact same thing. Now you might notice some differences, okay? And obviously we're gonna be using the mobile aspect. This is only a mobile app. They do have a web application, but it's very, very limited. Very, very limited. I don't even know what the point of it is. Like, you go on there, you see a couple of photos, and then they have a prompt that just says log in, create an account, whatever. It's so annoying. Like, what's the point? Just delete it. It's fine. So let's just check out the interface. Obviously, like at Android, you're gonna have some different features at the top, like the notifications. It's a little bit laid out differently, and then the bottom nav or the bottom footer area. Well, obviously you have like the navigation, the tab navigation, which is the home, search. What is that, like the reels? You also have shop, whatever. That's all similar. Below that is the tab switcher. They're very similar. Obviously, this is a Google Pixel. It's different on what I'm using for the screen little mirror thing. I'm using reflector, whatever the hell it is. Reflector 4. There we go. Just started using it. But the tab switcher is pretty much the same, but it's different, obviously, because Google Pixel has, or Google has chosen this route. They're trying to be like Apple, I guess. I don't know. That's a conversation for a different day. Anyways, they're very similar. They do the exact same thing. Switch over to other different apps or whatnot, right? Same exact thing. Okay. Obviously, it's handled differently. iOS is a little bit more fluid-esque. The Pixel is a little bit more straightforward. It just snaps into place, which, you know, some people prefer that. I don't really care, me personally. I do like fluidity. I do like, you know, I'm an animator myself, so I do like fluidity. And like that follow through esque animation, smooth. I love that. So either or for me, I don't really care. So as for the app itself, right? It's very similar elements. Sometimes because of the operating system, iOS, Android, they're gonna be different aspects, right? Some areas are gonna be a little bit different. So a part of the app you have to design against the operating system, okay? For instance, some animations on Android are going to be limited, okay? iOS, you know, with Apple, you're using Objective-C, but they're also using the newer code base, which is Swift, right? Xcode with Swift. They're using those combined, and you're going to have a more fluid library of animations that you can implement. More functionality, more control of your animations, okay? A lot of times we use Lottie animations. So when you're creating your animations, your motion design, motion graphics, whatever, you export out as a Lottie file, and you're going to have a lot of robust animations that can be implemented on your mobile app or whatnot. Now, when we say Lottie, it's kind of weird because when you say we're exporting it out as a Lottie file, you're just exporting it out as a .json file, right? So you have your extension, which is a .json, right? Literally JSON.json. That's exported into, or you give that or hand off to your developers, and they actually have control over, I believe, text only. I'm not sure if they do have color, but I know you can edit the text. So just be wary about that. Let's go ahead and dive into this. So search, fairly similar, a little bit different. There we go. Let's just notice this interaction. So you slide up, and then you see like this tab control right here. Just slides in. Okay, same thing. Looks pretty good. Now if we refresh, you'll notice how that's a tad bit different. So iOS is using more OS specific items, right? So you're using that operating system, using the operating system area, right? So that's kind of normal. Android uses like this infinite scroll element, right? So again, you're going against that operating system. You also have the ability to design your own thing, but remember, it might be easier to use the operating system elements, right? Some apps have like a different refresh animation. Some apps just want to use the iOS, operating system elements right there. Let's go ahead and create a post, right? And I think, well, actually, I'm not sure why. Let's go ahead and access that. Okay, so I'm really not sure why my add post button is at the bottom. I think it's a business account, right? So mine's at the top on the Android, but I'm on the same account, so that's what I'm saying. Like, why is it different? I don't know. It's weird. But anyways, so I'm adding a post or whatnot. Let's go ahead and add a picture of my beautiful face there. I'm just kidding. It's not beautiful. It's pretty dry and pale, and I got a couple scratches right there. It's a little scruffy, you know what I'm saying? But go ahead and add a post. Very similar, right? You can move things around. Go ahead and edit that. You notice how some elements or items are a little bit different. So you got that these lines right here. It's kind of weird. And then it's white lines, and it's like a grid on the iOS. Notice how we select from our gallery. Again, we're using that OS specific. You can't really see it on the Android. That's kind of weird. Let me go ahead and adjust this real quick, because I know I hate when it does it. It'll adjust these things right here. Okay, so you can't really see it, but it's an OS specific project space, or wherever you want to get your photos from. Okay, so I'm selecting. So it shows on the iOS, but it doesn't show on Android. It's weird. Anyways, that's not the point. So let's go ahead and hit next. You notice at the top there is an arrow, and on iOS there is a next button. So a lot of times that makes me think like maybe there's two different designers, one designing for iOS and one designing for Android. Sometimes you might have a reason for it. Maybe there's just one designer. Maybe you have a specific reason to why you made it an arrow on Android and a next button on iOS, right? So when it comes to that, just make sure you have a specific reason and you're making those impactful decisions to why that would make sense to you. And then just make sure you communicate that with your team, developers, stakeholders, product owners, whomever, right? It's really important. It's really important. Okay, so let's go next. And one more area there. Okay, so with that said, you notice how if I'm scrolling this up, iOS has a very fluid library of things. Let's do that on Android. I'm literally, why? Okay, hold up. Okay. Okay, so you notice how I'm moving this on the right side on the iOS device, an iPhone. I keep want to say iOS, iPhone. So on the left device, Android, I really can't move the screen, right? So again, operating system, just be wary of that. It's a little bit more fluid. That's just Apple for you. Let's go ahead and add a caption. Whoa, I cannot type. Don't judge me. Please don't judge me. This is a test. All right. Again, operating system items. Keyboard functionality is different. You notice you have a share or a check mark, and you have a share button on. It's a bit different. Create a promotion. You notice how the toggles are vastly different. That's more of like Google, not Google, but like material design toggles right there. And then iOS, I'm pretty sure these are like more custom to Instagram's design system, possibly. And then they're using material design for the Android device. We'll toggle on Facebook there, and it adjusted the screen, which really sucks. Let's go ahead and go back. There we go. Okay, let's just go ahead and share it. So I'm gonna hit the check mark, share. So that was a little bit different. Let's see, Instagram, no thanks. So pretty cool, right? I like how I just double posted on 2 different devices. But I'm gonna go ahead and delete that. So let's go to the more menu, the 3-dot menu. I'm gonna tap that. See if I can find it on here. Hold on, did it even post both? Okay, there it is. Let's go ahead and select that. So these are pretty different, which is pretty interesting actually. So again, that makes me think like there's probably 2 different designers working on this. But I don't really know. But you'll notice how you have these buttons here, link and share, and if you tap share to open up the operating system share sheet, which is Android, right? So you have this, opens up that drawer-esque modal. Let's do the same here. Share to, I think that should be it. Yeah, there you go. So you have like link, that's pretty much what, copy link. Yep, link copied. So you have your other options there. So for here, this is using the operating, so for iOS, it's using the iPhone. It's using the operating system, options or action sheet there, or however you want to call that. It's using these items. Let's go ahead and delete. It brings up another little interstitial here. So let's go ahead and delete, deleting, boom, delete, boom. Cool. I don't want to do that. So that was pretty cool. That's just to give you a general gist of how the 2 different apps function, what's slightly different, and then at the same time kind of going over a specific use case, right? Which we pretty much made a post, which is pretty much the main thing to do on Instagram, right? So when you're thinking about designing for iOS or Android, remember, design against the operating system as well as just create valuable, informed decisions, right? That means understand your users, understand the data points, right? What are the existing data points? Who are the existing users? Actually go in and ask them some questions. How do they feel about this experience, or what exactly do they want, right? What are some of those features that are really gonna help the user accomplish their goals from A to B, right? In the seamless, most fashionable, best experience, right? That's what we're looking for, okay? Design against the design system, okay? Notice how on iOS they have a specific design system because they're using those tailored items or UI elements, right? Again, we looked at those toggles or the share sheets. They're using these elements for the operating system. Android, same thing. They're using material design in a little bit of areas. And again, if you're gonna design something different, make sure to have a plan of action or a reason to why you created that decision, right? So I hope that helped. Remember, like and subscribe for more videos. We're gonna be talking more about different apps. We're going to be looking at different references because it's going to be really, really helpful to understand what the industry is doing, right? Because if you're a UX designer, UI designer, product designer, interaction designer, whatever title that you are, you're going to have to design against not just your users, but against the industry, right? You're gonna have to do some of those competitive analyses. Is that the word? You're gonna have to do those competitive analysis, charts against other products and other companies, and try to figure out how and what are they doing. How can you do your product even better? How can you design something even better, right? So with that said, thank you so much, guys. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.